But let's get to it because we got some Max Blumenthal tweets out there that we got to talk about. Max Blumenthal in the Gray Zone reported on the Bolivia news, the Chile news. There's a lot of stuff going on, but, they're very observant when it comes to foreign policy and the way our leaders talk about foreign policy. Now, the other day, our boy Barack Obama was out there stomping for Joe Biden. Max Blumenthal put a tweet up here, and take a look at this here, because just listen to the language, because we have to really classify right now. When people go, oh my God, why won't you vote for Joe Biden and Barack Obama? I simply say because of our civil liberties, because of our foreign policy, and because of our elections. So let's look at our foreign policy, and fam, you tell me how this language sounds from a leader.
Our current president, he whines that 60 Minutes is too tough. You think he's going to stand up to dictators? He thinks Leslie Stahl's a bully. Just yesterday, he said that Putin of Russia, Xi of China, and Kim Jong-un of North Korea want him to win. We know. We know because you've been giving them whatever you want. For the last 4 years, of course they want you to win. That's not a good thing. You shouldn't brag about the fact that some of our greatest adversaries think they'd be better off with you in office. Of course they do. What does that say about you? I mean, think about that. Why are you bragging about that? Come on. And that doesn't make any sense.
The irony.
Our greatest adversaries, fam. This is an O-town. You need to speak on. This is your town. He went on their neocon mentality. So
the irony is that he's saying, how can you brag about peace? Yeah, like what the is wrong with you? Like, you neocon warmongering piece of shit who took us from 2 to 7 wars. Like, how are you bragging about having more adversarial relationships with world leaders? This is the guy that literally droned the hell out of the Middle East, killing over 2 million Iraqis, literally sending soldiers to death, coming home with PTSD, and did so much domestically as well. But had Hillary Clinton enacting her freaking disastrous foreign policy as Secretary of State, this is like classic neoliberal, but like now we're seeing like the neoliberals have become such neocons. Like, it is like they're just fomenting this desire for war. Oh, we have to be angry and hate North Korea. We have to hate Russia and
China.
But it's like, again, Donald Trump has been difficult, has been harsh on Russia.
Yeah, way of sanctions.
Even when he met with with North Korea, he wasn't like, let's have coffee and tea. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, this makes people want to vote for Trump. Some people who are like, you know what, I don't like either candidate, but Obama and the Democrats,
yeah.
they're gonna start more wars and more quagmires than Donald Trump. It's like, where are we at here?
Yeah, you know what? And Joe Biden has the same type of language, fam. Max Blumenthal's next tweet, the racist language of Biden he uses for leaders of the global South nations, thugs, is the same language he used to market the crime bill. Now, that was Blumenthal's tweet right there. You can see it. But I also pulled up a little video, too, from the debate to give a little substance to what he's talking about. And when we were watching this, I was just like, I remember us like looking and laughing, like, listen to the language. I mean, it's become the norm that the progressives take this with a grain of salt, and they don't see how dangerous this is, how racist this is, how this could lead to xenophobia. The same way that Donald Trump talks about they're sending us their rapists and their worst and their drug dealers, right? Mm-hmm. This is the same type of language. It might seem more geopolitically
It's
It's
acceptable because it's not here on American soil, so people don't care or don't even realize what is being said.
Yeah. So here he goes. I don't understand why this president is afraid to take on Putin, and he's actually paying bounties to kill American soldiers. So despite also talking about CIA talking points to keep this rhetoric going, he also just uses languages of thugs, whatnot. This is very, very serious, ladies and gentlemen. This is the reason why I will not vote for Joe Biden and the Democrats, because they're all in line with this type of mentality, except for Tulsi. She's out the door. So what do you got with the Democrats now? Do you hear the squad talking out about against this? Do you hear the squad saying that we should be pulling out of Afghanistan? Did you see them come together? No, we have Rand Paul on one side and Thomas Massie on the other. And even Gates jumps into the act. Where you at, progressives? Show the video. I'm sorry, Johnny.
And so if you want to do something about it, step up and help. If not, it's going to continue. What has he done? He's legitimized North Korea. He's talked about his good buddy who's a thug, and he talks about how we're better off. And they have much more capable missiles, able to reach U.S. territory much more easily than ever did before.
Let me follow up with you, Vice President Biden. You've said you wouldn't meet with
Wait, let it go.
Kim Jong-un without preconditions. Are there any conditions under which you would meet with him?
On the condition that he would agree that he would be drawing down his nuclear capacity to get the Korean Peninsula should be nuclear-free zone.
They tried to meet with him. He wouldn't do it. He didn't like Obama. He didn't like him. He wouldn't do it.
Okay, I got to give him a chance to respond to that before we move on.
And that's okay. You know what, North Korea, we're not in a war. We have a good relationship. You know, people don't understand. Having a good relationship with leaders of other countries is a good thing.
We have a lot to get to.
Your
response.
Okay. We had a good.
You're making Donald Trump look like a peacemaker, you fools. Like, literally, having a good relationship with world leaders is a good thing. It is!
I think Biden says something after that, too, as well. I mean, really, to tell you the truth, Donald Trump is saying this, and Joe Biden is calling thugs. He repeats it. That's in his mind right there, ladies and gentlemen. The neocon mind is in Joe Biden. Johnny, I think he says something to finish off the clip, though. I don't know if it's important, but I just want to see if he does say something. Right there is good.
He wouldn't do it.
Okay, I got to give him a chance to respond to that before we move on.
And that's okay. You know what, North Korea, we're not in a war. We have a good relationship. You know, people don't understand. Having a good relationship with leaders of other countries is a good thing.
We have a lot of questions to get to.
That's like saying we had a good relationship with Hitler before he, in fact, invaded Europe.
That's what I want.
Europe. Come on.
The
reason he would not meet with President Obama is because President Obama said, we're going to talk about denuclearization. We're not going to legitimize you, and we're going to continue to put stronger and stronger sanctions on you. See, that's why he wouldn't meet with us.
Okay, and now Kim Jong-un has said, listen, you want us to denuclearize, get NATO out of here, get the troops out of here, stop running these drills every year that mimic an invasion of North Korea. And you end the war. We've never technically ended the war.
Yeah.
End the war, remove the troops, stop with and I'll denuclearize today. But they're like, no, we're not going to remove the everybody until you denuclearize. As soon as he denuclearizes, they go in and it's done.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that now Donald Trump, he went there for a photo op, fam, because he didn't let he didn't pull the leash back on the military-industrial complex. It said no more drills over there in Korea. Remove the troops, remove everything. Let's get out of the peninsula. He didn't do that, and that's why Kim Jong-un has been aggravated. But at least there was a process of talking, of meeting for peace. Haven't come to a conclusion. But Joe Biden, Hitler.
Well, that's the thing. He has to compare everybody. They have to compare everybody to Hitler because that's in the American psyche. Like, oh, we got to stop these people. They're brutal dictators. They're killing people everywhere. They're Hitler, so we have to stop it. So that's how they foment this sort of war with these other countries. But yeah, like, you want North Korea to denuclearize. America, you first.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally have more nuclear weapons than anybody else. Like, we're literally occupying hundreds of countries. I mean, this is like ridiculous. If you want people to denuclearize, America, you go first. You start denuclearizing as well. But no, we won't do it. So they painted like it's like this arrogance, this ego. Like, no, like if you don't do what we say, then we're going to bully you. It's that whole bully mentality over and over again. And he said sanctions.
Which kill poor people, by the way.
Sanctions are an act of war. So, I mean, he's already talking this rhetoric that is far more neocon-ish than freaking Donald Trump, which is scary to say because it's not like Donald Trump doesn't have Pompeo and all these people behind him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he doesn't have these
He had
neocons.
Lord Bolton.
But
at one
it's
point.
like these neocons are together. Like, these neocons work in tandem with members of the Democratic and Republican Party. They're all part of the same warmongering mentality. It's just, I think part of the reason why the establishment doesn't like Donald Trump is because I think they thought they were going to be able to manipulate him more. And I'm not saying he's a peacemaker because he's not. He's definitely not a non-interventionist, but he's definitely less likely to listen to everything they want and sometimes does what he wants. So that's why.
A lot of people talk about the fact that he hasn't started a new war. The Bolivia situation was a little shaky, but once again, they corrected that right now.
Well, and
he's continued some of the
Soleimani
policies.
strikes with
Soleimani, yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't say he
it's more of a
didn't
wise
start.
guy, good fella kind of mentality. Let's just whack him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so once again, he's not a peacemaker, but once again, not committing thousands of hundreds of thousands of our people and our troops and our money to these areas, which Barack Obama and Joe Biden did. And no matter what, fam, no matter what's declassified, no matter what's talked about when it comes to the Russian narrative, if they keep debunking it, if you're a propagandist like the Democratic Party is, because they really don't stand for anything, they just think you're stupid, you keep repeating the lie and you hope that it follows through.
Yeah.
So here's this next clip I have over here with Joe Biden. Russia, Russia, Russia. Just like Marsha says. So 35 seconds, Johnny, I started it out.
I made it clear that any country, no matter who it is, that interferes in American elections will pay a price. They will pay a price. And it's been overwhelmingly clear this election, I won't even get into the last one, this election, that Russia has been involved, China has been involved to some degree, and now we learn that Iran is involved. They will pay a price if I'm elected. They're interfering with American sovereignty. That's what's going on right now. They're interfering with American sovereignty. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't think the president said anything to Putin about it. I don't think he's talking to him a lot. I don't think he said a word. I don't know why he hadn't said a word to Putin about it. And I don't know what he has recently said, if anything, to the Iranians. My guess is he'd probably be more outspoken with regard to the Iranians. But the point is this, folks. We are in a situation where we have foreign countries trying to interfere in the outcome of our election. His own national security advisor told him that what is happening with his buddy, I will. His buddy, Rudy Giuliani, he's being used as a Russian pawn. He's being fed information that is Russian, that is not true. And then what happens? Nothing happens. And then you find out that everything that's going on here about Russia is wanting to make sure that I do not get elected the next president of the United States because they know I know them and they know me. I don't understand why this president is unwilling to take on Putin when he's actually paying bounties to kill American soldiers in Afghanistan, when he's engaged in activities that are trying to destabilize all of NATO. I don't know why he doesn't do it, but it's worth asking the question. Why isn't that being done? Any country that interferes with us will, in fact, pay a price because they're affecting our sovereignty.
Okay. So they know that I know that they know me and I know them, fam. And which is hysterical. It's a Joe Biden. It's a Joe Bidenism. But really the fact is that you never had proof about Russia really interfering in the election. You had maybe a troll farm put up memes. Most of the memes were after.
In fact, it's been debunked, the whole thing.
And now you're ready to start a war on a lie. They'll pay a price. We're going to go invade a country on a lie. They're going to pay a price.
Well, we've done it so many times.
Yeah. I mean, now they're saying they're messing with our sovereignty. They don't have any truth. They never wanted to take accountability for their actions, okay, the Democratic Party. They never wanted to discuss why they lost the election. Well, you know, you should cheat a general if you're going to cheat a primary. I remember that meme. It says, how did it come you didn't cheat the election? When you cheated the primary, because they were so sure and confident, fam, that they were going to win this election. That's why people say, who do you think is going to win the next election? I think it's Donald Trump, judging by the size of the crowds out there. However, I don't think the Democrats are going to get caught slipping this time. They're going to try to stuff the ballot box if they can. Republicans will cheat where they can too as well. Don't get me wrong. They're masters at it. They did it in Florida, the crossover list as well. But the Democrats, they cheat as well. They admitted they have the right to cheat. And now here they are again. Once again, he's saying whoever messes with our elections will pay a price. What about us? Can you let the Democratic Party pay for messing with the elections? Didn't they cheat the 2016 primary? I know they cheated the 2021, but the 2016 one where they admitted they cheated. How come they're not going to pay a price, fam?
this is like literally anything that remotely holds the Democratic Party accountable, exposes them in any way, shape, or form, is now pushed as Russian disinformation. Every single thing. Russia. Even though after 3 years, the whole thing has been debunked. The whole thing has been absolutely just destroyed. There's no evidence of that. There never was. Even the intelligence agencies are saying that this isn't Russia. But now it's everything that could possibly make the Democrats look bad. It's always Russia. People need to start waking up to this shit and realizing, like, you're being duped into this so you can hate Russia. They want you to hate Russia. They want you to hate China. They want you to hate North Korea because they want to be able to do the things they do foreign policy wise in these countries. They want to be able to sanction them, drone them, threaten them.
Yeah.
And because these countries are adversarial to are bullying. They do not want to be under the Western imperialist American boot. So we have to find a way to vilify every country. And nobody's saying that all of these world leaders are perfect because, I mean, you're leading a country. Obviously, that's going to be different. There's going to be nothing is black and white. There are no good guys and bad guys here. But the reality is America is the closest thing to being like the police, the bad cop of the world. That's what we are. And Americans need to start paying attention to this language and this rhetoric of these Democrats who are so ready to jump into the next quagmire out there.
Yeah, I mean, they are ready for the next war. They're gearing up for it. They're ready for it. Even the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, said the information coming from Hunter's laptop is not Russian disinformation.
Yep.
So when Joe Biden says his intelligence community says it, no, you're talking about Clapper and Brennan, who are sitting down with MSNBC, who are Clinton and Obama loyalists, and that's who you're trying to echo to get your point across when there's been no proof of that. This is the neocon party. It is now the Democratic Party. They share a likeness with a lot of those neocon Republicans. So this is a reason why you should never vote for Joe Biden. His language alone, fam, is really, really disgusting in this whole way. Thugs, the whole 9 yards. And it's something we need to just point out and stay away from.